What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we have for you the Idol Pro, which will be released in the beginning of August. This will be the latest HP3 ball from Roto. It will be the next ball in the Idol series. So you had the original Idol, the Idol Pearl, and now this Idol Pro. So most people would probably think, hey, Rotogrip's going to do a hybrid, but they kind of threw a curveball and did another solid. So, which is actually kind of awesome. Specs on the ball, it's got that Icon Core E-Trax S19 cover stock, 3000 grit sheen finish. So for those of you that don't know what the sheen finish is, in the finishing process, the ball comes out shiny and then there's surface applied to it afterwards. Whereas traditionally, the ball comes out sanded and then the shine is applied to it. This is opposite, gives it a little bit of a unique finish. So just something to kind of note there. Pretty cool. Numbers on the ball for both Jack and Brad: 15 pound, 249 RG, so lower RG, differential 52, so fair amount of diff. And we're just bowling on the typical house shot. And overall, we have 3 different test balls: pin up stronger, that's closer to the axis for both guys, and then pin down in between the bridge, so that's the weaker layout. And yeah, I was really surprised with how well this ball got down the lane in comparison to, if you watched our comparison video, we were bowling the same pair of lanes. We did this ball first, and with the Idol Phase 2 Pro Motion, they didn't get through the front part of the lane as good as what this ball did. This ball stored a little bit more energy, gave a little bit more area, and was pretty happy to see that, honestly. In comparison to the original Idol is going to be a little earlier. It's got the nanotechnology in the cover, so a little earlier, a little smoother down lane, better for when there's a lot of oil in the front part of the lane. However, with this ball, I think you can just hit it with an Aberlon pad to give you that a little bit earlier of a motion if that's what you're looking for. As well as if you want to make it a little bit shinier, you can make it a little shinier. I'm sure the cover is going to take well to being polished. So that's always something to think about. I think it's going to be very susceptible to changing surfaces. Perfectly fine to do with this ball. So now we're going to go to the pin down ball here in a second. And both Jack and Brad really like the pin down ball. Brad likes the pin up strong too. We'll get that in a little bit here. But originally, Jack moves a little right with his feet, and then he starts creeping left because I think the lane just started to transition and break down a little bit since we're both bowling on one lane. We wanted to kind of keep it consistent. We always try to do that. And when Jack gets a little too far left with this, it would kind of hang on him. Whereas the initial pin up in between the bridge gave him a little bit more area either way, which is interesting because most balls for Jack, the pin down ball in the house shot is the way to go. It just always gives him the most predictable motion and the most area. But kind of like here, he gets, he's like, all right, I'm going to try moving a little bit further left, and then it just kind of bails on him down lane. So it wasn't quite developed yet. Now for Brad, he's got the higher rev rate, so he already, automatically starts left. He's left to 20 at the arrows, but he could pretty much throw it as far right as he wanted. Didn't necessarily have to worry about, okay, is this ball going to recover or not? For the house shot, he liked this ball the best between the 3, just because it gave him the most predictable motion. And there he kind of like stuck a little bit, 2-pin, almost rolled it. But yeah, you could see ball rotation wasn't as good, so it wasn't that great of a shot off his hand, and then kind of right back to it. And then now we go to the pin up that's a little bit stronger. Jack moves his feet back to the right just a touch, just because the ball's a little earlier, and it kind of forced him to the right because being left, it didn't recover at all. And then he kind of gets that over-under reaction. So for Jack in particular, this layout isn't very good for him, especially on the house shot. On a sport shot, it would probably be good. Probably what he would more so need due to he doesn't have like a high rev rate like Brad does. He's kind of in the middle there. And, once he gets his feet in the right spot and the angle's correct, as long as he hits his mark, like every time, labels every shot he's pretty good. And now we go to Brad, and you can see even for him, this is smoother down lane, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because even on this second shot, he misses clear right, and it still has enough energy to come back. But based off of Brad's PAP, this is a little further away than what it is for Jack, and I kind of highlighted that in the comparison video, that it's always good to know what your PAP is and make sure the person that is drilling your equipment knows too, just due to you want to optimize that layout, the cover, the core, all the combinations. You want to make sure you're getting it dialed in, so to speak. And then on this shot, he moves even further left. And yeah, so really appreciate everybody watching the video. If you have any questions about anything, drop it in the comments below. We'll probably do a Idle Pro Idle comparison video just so everybody can see the difference between the two balls. But please touch the like button if you like the video. Really appreciate that. It helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're if you're new and you're not already subscribed. We always appreciate that too. But until next time, have a good one.